gifts and talents typically try to force their way out even when we're not aware of them, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is if I use a gift without discipline, it creates destruction. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. When I use my gift without being disciplined over how to control that gift, then what happens is that gift turns around and causes destructive things around me, hence distracting the class, disrupting the class, no one getting any work done. I'm cracking jokes and everyone's laughing. The teacher has to control everything. Here Karim misses recess for a week and a half, right? So the idea being is, can I identify when the gift is being pulled out? And better yet, once I can identify what the gift is, do I know how to discipline myself with the gift to get results? The most successful people in the world have taken their gift and talent, not necessarily their education, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna say gift and talent, because most of the most successful people in the world, whatever they're doing right now, they have literally been doing all their life in some way, shape, or form. The idea is over time, they learn how to add discipline to that gift, which gave them mastery over that gift. A cheetah can run 70 miles per hour for a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes. If it exceeds 3 to 5 minutes, the cheetah's heart would explode because it can't keep up that speed, right? So it has to have enough discipline to know how to use that gift, how to turn it on, capture its prey, and turn it off before it kills itself, right? That's, to me, the epitome of discipline with the gift. If I use the gift out of order, I can cause chaos to myself, right? So I tell a lot of people, once you discover your gift, you got to have discipline with it, right?
Yes.
If you have discipline with it, you'll have massive success again and again and again. We talked about success earlier, and I kind of sidetracked my own self in the conversation.
Okay.
But what happens with a lot of people is they get success, but they don't know how they did it.
Yes.
Right?
And they don't know how to duplicate it.
And they don't know how to duplicate it.
Yep.
It's accidental. It's almost like you having a recipe to make a cake. So you know everything that goes in it, and then you lose the recipe, but you try to make the same recipe out of what you thought you knew about what you remember. So you're throwing a pinch of this, a dance of this, you're mixing this up, but it just doesn't taste the same, right? I do believe there is a formula for success, and it does involve, in part, knowing what you're gifted and talented at, because if you know your gift and talent, it makes you the alpha in life's race. Everybody's designed to dominate in something. The idea being is, can I take my unique gift and talent and apply it to where I am working on the job now? I think this right here is the thing that messes people up. Sometimes the gift doesn't mean you have to leave your job or your place where you're at right now. Sometimes you can take the gift and merge it with what you're doing, and that's what makes you the alpha. If I'm a gifted communicator and I'm working in a call center, right? My gift of gab and my gift of creativity, which is something I didn't mention, will allow me to exceed my competition. Why? Because I know better ways to get a hold of people and get them on the phone. I know better sales technique to get them to want to purchase from me. I have the gift of communication so I can create trust with that person very, very quickly. You'd be a fool in this day and age to say I want success, but not be aware of what your gifts and talents are. And most importantly, not triangulating what you want by using your gifts and talents to get it. I've never seen a cheetah miss a meal because it knows how to use 70 mile per hour speed.
Well, because it's built into them.
That's right.
But I think about this, and I love the fact you brought up discipline, right? Because I think as a society, we actually really, really struggle with being disciplined. I mean, for many, many, many different reasons, right? You know, we're headline readers, and we're looking for immediate gratification. Okay. And you know, discipline it's a mindset. It's an understanding that I'm going to get into it, I'm going to fail, but then I'm going to accept the failure, and then I'm just going to continue to go with it. So how do we? Because I'm thinking. And I love that we're bringing up the success part too, right? I know we're about to a little bit, but I love this because I see this happen in the automotive space like all the time. Right, dealership comes off of it. Team did a great job. They had the best month ever, and then the next month they're not even a fraction at the same results. Because they didn't have the discipline to understand what the activities that were put into, then how they can actually duplicate those. Sure. So how do we embrace this mindset of discipline, and how do we own it on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the best way to create discipline is make it a habit. Right? And a lot of people fail to understand that. Right now, your success is being dictated by habits, either good or bad, and most people ain't figured it out. We're right now doing this inside a car and you're driving, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing. I'm assuming you got your license at 16.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And I'm not going to ask you your age now. You know, I don't want to ask you your age now. Cool. But what I'll say is this: you've been driving long enough that you know how to drive the car on autopilot. You know how to drive the car without even thinking about it. Right? So you've got a habit of how you drive. You got a habit of how you hold the steering wheel. You got a habit of how you sit. You got a habit of how you look and check the mirrors. This has been done so many times, it's entrenched in your mind that you do it without even thinking about it, right? For most of the folks out there, I want you to be honest with yourself. When's the last time you had to actually take a look and focus on how you put a shoe on or tie a shoelace, right?
Yes.
You've done it so many times, it's on autopilot. So there are habits right now that we have that are actually holding us back that are on autopilot.
Okay.
The question being is, can I identify and be honest with myself of what negative habits I have right now that's slowing down my success rate? Because Everybody has a habit right now that's either pushing them closer to their finish line or slowing them down or holding them back or taking them directly the opposite way. So scientists say it takes 21 days to start a habit, 66 days to make it locked in stone. And they also say it's almost impossible just to give up a habit cold turkey, which is why they always say try to replace one bad habit with a better habit. Don't try to go cold turkey. Try to replace one, swap out for another one, right? The problem is we have to have awareness, right? We have to have awareness of when the bad habit is in action. So let me take my dogs, for example, because I want folks to really grasp this.
Yeah.
I got 3 Yorkies. And when I first got them as puppies, they were absolutely adorable, right? They were so cute as puppies that I didn't mind them peeing in the house. I can clean up that little blotch. I mean, just too cute for me to spank you. I mean, he's just, you know, I can deal with it. And then as they start to mature in age, that little puppy turned into a grown dog. And we know grown dog pee is on a whole nother level. I didn't want my house smell like a kennel, but I need to get them to go outside. But they're too used to thinking they can pee inside the house. And so what I had to do is use what's called a pattern interrupt, right? A pattern interrupt is where I would sit on the couch with a folded up newspaper. Like some animals right activists are gonna get me for this. I would sit on the couch with a newspaper and I would wait till one of them would start sniffing around, which is the sign they had to go outside. And the moment I saw one begin to lift his leg, I would spring off the couch and I would pop him with the newspaper, not hard, just loud enough for the noise to startle him. And that's a pattern interrupt. Right? Because most folks are on autopilot. If there's no pattern interrupt, they'll continue with the same train of thought. Quickly, I take the dog outside, put him next to the tree and say, this is where you pee at. And after repeatedly doing that for a while, the new habit took hold, right? The question I ask most people they're not having dynamic success or repetitive success, can you identify the habit? Because you got to be honest with yourself. Most people want to lie to themselves. Don't lie to yourself. You want success. You want to grow. Can you be honest with yourself and figure out what negative habits are slowing you down? Are you a classic procrastinator? Or are you lazy? Do you wait to the last minute? You know, what are the habits you have? And what habits do you need to be super successful? And if you can't hold yourself accountable, who else is holding you accountable to pop you with a pattern interrupt? Now, I don't mean someone needs to spring off the couch and pop you in the face with a newspaper.
Well,
don't
maybe
do
sometimes.
Well, maybe sometimes it might help out. It might work. But the idea being is, in order for me to defeat a habit, I have to first understand the habit. You know, you can't conquer what you refuse to confront. I'll say that again. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. So first of all, I got to know what I'm trying to confront.